And the producer of this show is here in Flesh and Blood.
Yes, yours truly, here in Flesh and Blood. Good evening, Lagos. Welcome to the show. Was I muted? Good evening, Lagos. Yeah. Welcome to the show today.
I offed your mic. I offed it.
Why would you do that?
Why do I have to opt it? I'm not sure they did. I'm sure they sent some money into your business account.
You remember what your governor said today? He was asking Rivers people to forgive him for appointing a governor for them. I don't know what's going on in Rivers State. Yes, so for giving them someone they didn't like or someone they didn't want, for forcing someone on them. He asked for their forgiveness.
So in case another election comes down, let them know that they will not vote another person that they will not like. But in case he has problem with that person tomorrow, now what would that happen?
I don't know.
He will not beg for forgiveness again. All right, Lagos, let's just straight to the conversation that we have, and I'm sure that you are waiting and ready to do justice. For us to do justice to that, right? So let's go, Lagos. Of course, it's no longer news, no longer breaking that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu suspends Betta over 585 million naira scam. Not just that. Don't be quick. There's also this story about how company owned by Tinubu's interior minister, you know him, the one that is working action work, that is working assiduously, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, got 438 million naira as consultancy fee. How much will the money for the contract now be? As consultancy fees from suspended counterpart Betta Edu.
Anyway,
let's go ahead, please.
Some other story. So there is this story that says about the former humanitarian minister. What is it with humanitarian ministers anyway?
I don't know.
So EFCC detains ex-humanitarian affairs minister over alleged 37.1 billion naira fraud. And this says 5 billion naira for student loans, 6 billion naira for car park for lawmakers. Obi slams lavish allocation for lawmakers for National Assembly. We'll dig into that.
All right. So talking about Peter Obi, we had VOP TV, a TV station, right? VOP TV and VOP Radio. I had an exclusive conversation with Peter Obi today. We ran in on him, and then he did speak a lot about corruption. As a matter of fact, he said that corruption is so endemic in the country, and he said Nigeria has turned a gigantic criminal enterprise by politicians. And we'll also look at that conversation, and we'll see if we can play some clip from that interview too. Okay, so moving on again, we have more and more conversation. Army destroys 233 illegal refineries in Rivers State, Delta, 2 other states just in 2023 alone. This according to GOC.
And this says court fines federal government 100 million for violating Emefiele's right.
Okay, and then the Tinubu taught me politics, betrayal go hand in hand. Wiki. Tinubu taught me politics, then betrayal go hand in hand. That's what Wiki said. Why he was saying, please forgive me, I gave you people
giving you something you didn't like. And this says CAN leads protest against Plateau killings. The Christian Association of Nigeria on Monday today led a protest against the killings in Plateau State.
Okay, fantastic, great. And then let's just get to this. Today is some sort of tussle between 2 network providers. We'll get to give you details of that conversation. So we hear that very soon you may not be able to call your yellow lines with one of your green lines. With one of your green lines. Right, but Lagos, that's the hot topics that we have this hour. You know what? Let's take a quick break. I'll be right back to begin the dissection of these conversations. But before we go straight to dissecting the conversation, let me quickly let you in on that brief chat that we had with the Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi. This is an exclusive interview by VOP Television. Take a listen, Lagos.
Join Precious Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on.
Well, first is that the conference is cancelled. It didn't take place.
Okay.
It was a conference.
So Peter Obi was on his way back from Ghana, where he was supposed to attend some, a leadership conference, and he was caught by a correspondent at the airport, and he did speak with us very briefly.
Across Africa, which is Patrice Lumumba, Dr. Arikana of Zimbabwe, and Julius Malema of South Africa, and myself. However, last minute, the government, for best reasons known to them, cancelled the conference and everything. 3 of us had already arrived, which is Professor Lumumba, Dr. Arikara, and myself.
And no explanation was given to the cancellation.
We did give interview to show the purpose of the convention. The purpose of the convention is strictly to start African conversation on how to give the youth hope. Africa cannot continue to go the way it's going, because today Africa has the highest pool of energetic young people in their productive age. Out of Africa 1.4 billion population, they have 1.1 billion youths who are energetic, talented, and can take over the world. And Africa have the best assets today globally. No other person, no other continent had that. The human resource which I've just described, we have the mineral resources. No other continent have the amount of minerals that Africa have. We have 40% of the world gold today, 90% of the platinum. And in terms of countries, of course oil and everything, in terms of countries, one country that have highest amount of minerals in is Congo, sitting on 24 trillion worth of minerals. Africa as a continent have 65% uncultivated arable land. If you position all this, Africa is going to go. So you must give the young ones hope.
Now talking about
and so it is then disheartening that with all this potential, Africa is home to the poorest number of people. We're out of the 700 million people that are poor globally today, 431 million is from Africa, over 60%. That is not acceptable.
Not acceptable indeed. Now, talking about giving the young people hope, we do know that drug abuse has been prevalent. I'm going to bring it home to Nigeria, in as much as we're talking about Africa, but Nigeria is home to some of us. Drug use has been prevalent amongst the youths. What do you think can be done differently? Just today, it's been the news that a shipment of Colorado was seized at this airport because some people were importing drugs, and this has been ongoing for quite a long time.
Well, quite frankly, you must shift the thinking, the values of these young people away from this. When you engage them in the right direction, when they become productive, this is simple. It is because of the way they found themselves, not seeing exemplary lives that have made success, where they can embrace. These are the things you do to be able to turn them away, showing them that it's not about making money. It's not about living, doing the wrong things. It's not about living the wrong life. The values that shape a society is critical in behavior and controlling what people want to do to earn a living.
Well, talking about giving them hope as well, you know that we've had young people look up to their politicians, look up to their men of God, religious leaders and the rest of them. And what young people have been seeing has not been encouraging. They see people, they hear news of people embezzling money, taking public funds. Religious leaders are taking the people's money. So the young man, the young person on the street today feels make money by all means. How do you address that? Now, there's another conversation because I barged into your conversation, but we'll talk about what I heard. It's dropping much later. But how should government address this misnomer?
It's very easy. I've always campaigned and I've always talked about fighting corruption. No society have succeeded with corruption. I've always said we the politicians have turned the country into a gigantic criminal enterprise. and it must be dismantled for it to guarantee future. Corruption kills three things that makes a society. It kills entrepreneurship. Nobody thinks in a corrupt country. So you don't want to create, and entrepreneurship is what changes society, because people are thinking, creating wealth. It kills professionalism. Tell me how people will be working hard doing research to be university professors when they're seeing people who have not been in, who are not supposed, who that is supposed to be look up to them, any more money. You see me complain. How do you tell anybody that you buy a car of 160 million naira for a legislator and you pay a professor 400,000 a month? So if the professor decides not to eat, not to do anything, but to save his money, annually he will save maximum 4.8 million naira, call it 5 million. So if he saves his money for 30 years without eating, without doing anything, he will not be able to buy the car you bought for a legislator. It is unacceptable. You must dismantle this to make the society move. People must take their right place. I've gone all over the world schooling, and I can tell you, my dean, when I was in Kellogg graduate school, where I'm a Kellogg scholar, told me he earns more salary than Governor of Illinois. The biggest state in America today is California in terms of GDP. We need to deal with the issue of corruption. You need to do with the issue of this. And you just said about church. Nigeria is the only place you move around on the street. If you see 9 signboards today, 6 is church, 3 is funeral, and 1 is product. That shows you must change it. You must deal with it. There's nothing wrong. We are here by His grace. We are here by anything, but God can only bless production. He cannot bless consumption. He blesses production. We can almost do something. That's why they said God gives to those who have. So you must be doing something. You don't just get up in the morning and go to church. I'm a Catholic. They don't run the church on Hail Mary full of grace. You contribute something for them to run the church. But you must produce something to be able to contribute something. And I've been, just like I was telling them, for me it's about production. You must remove consumption.
You're talking about production, but the atmosphere in Nigeria has been so tense that manufacturers are leaving, producers are leaving. In as much as the government in power now is talking about bringing investors, but we know that those we have, those that used to be here, like GSK and the rest of them, are leaving. In the papers today, we saw that manufacturers may be sacking a lot of people.
There's a difference between talking and doing. That is the difference. We have to do the right things. We have to sacrifice for it. There's a lot of things.
What manner of sacrifice are you talking about, sir?
Again, we're talking about corruption. If you want to stop reduce criminality today, you must pull people out of poverty.
Okay.
The more you pull people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. And how do you pull people out of poverty? You need to educate them. You need to support small businesses. Small businesses is the engine of growth globally, everywhere in the world. Even on the strongest economies in the world, they drive the process. Whether they are talking from America to China, and when I give example, because they say China, I said, yes, it's the best example. Because small businesses in China is creating 60% of produce, export, and they're creating over 70% of the employment.
There are small businesses in Nigeria finding it hard to thrive with lack of power, and we hear government still subsidizing power.
Well, I don't want to talk about government. You just made me at the airport. and I'm just coming back. But I can tell you,
I understand. Okay.
There's a way. These things are not rocket science. It's been done in countries, and it happened everywhere. And I've managed a subnational state. When I came to Anambra State, people say, "Oh, you can't do this. You can't change education. You can't change it." We're owing banks. They say, the banks came and said, "I'm going to pay you back your money." And they say, "Oh, where are you going to get the money to do it?" What did we do? And that's what I'm not seeing today. Shut down the cost of government. Deal with the corruption issue. We did it. Everybody saw it happen. Where Peter was quarreling with everybody. And what did we get? By the time I left office, I was not owing pension, I was not owing gratuity, I was not owing any contract of a good thing supply, I was not owing any supplier, and I left in 3 banks in Nigeria. And I said every day, Access Bank, $50 million, 12 billion naira. Fidelity Bank, $50 million, 12 billion naira. Diamond Bank, $50 million, 12 billion naira.
Now we need to re-emphasize something.
And with that, I cancelled everything, including pension, to Governor Co.
That's where I'm coming
Since I left office, Anambra has not bought me a sachet of pure water, because I'm not entitled to it. You can't go and work for 8 years, deprive people who have worked for 35 years, and also we should know that there's a people who are suffering, people down there, and we should make the sacrifice. So they've not bought me a bottle of pure water. I'm not missing anything, because by His grace I had something, and I'm living on it.
All right, so that's a much you can take on that interview with the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi there. He said quite a lot. Some of the things he mentioned, he had said that if anybody can prove anywhere that he has taken a dime from Anambra State since he left there as governor, right? Or that he bought a land, or he siphoned the land, or got any property to himself as a governor, that if they can prove that he would stop talking to Nigerians. And I know that this is not the first time he has said this. He said it several times, and that is yet to happen. And then he said that, Nigerian political class have turned corruption into, something else. It's become a gigantic enterprise. So it's become very robust and successful. And that's why it is difficult for it to stop. And then he did mention the aspect of the fact that, look, you cannot owe people or tell people to manage, and you're not cutting down the cost of governance. You need to cut down the cost of governance, so that when you're telling people to manage, they see that you too, you're managing. And he said that he has proof that he was able to cut down the cost of governance in Anambra State. Anybody who says otherwise should come with a proof that he didn't. And then the way he says it, it's just amazing. Mr. Darlington, well, just before that, let's quickly let you know, promise, there's a follow-up conversation to that.
Peter Obi, in a scathing critic of the nation's fiscal priorities, former governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party has denounced the government's allocation of funds, decrying a lack of attention to human capital development. Shocking is how he described the recent signed budget, pointing to the mere 5 billion naira designated for student loans. He revealed that a staggering 6 billion naira was earmarked for building a car park for legislatures, an amount surpassing the fund allocated to empower students, he said, emphasizing the irony stated legislators recently used 12 times the amount of student loans to buy official cars. The former governor expressed dismay over the unfinished National Library, initiated in 1995 by late General Sani Abacha. Despite substantial expenditures, Nigeria's National Library is operating from rented accommodation, will be lamented. Juxtaposing this with the National Assembly 3 billion naira budget for the books of its library. Obi's critic hinges on the urgent need to cut governance costs and prioritize developmental areas, with Nigerians languishing at 163 out of 191 countries in the Human Development Index he won. Without prioritizing expenditure on growth, tangible and lasting development will remain elusive, he said.
All right, so Mr. Darlington, now talking about this, even the same National Assembly that we just mentioned right now, they had budgeted about 30 billion naira, in the past budget for the renovation of National Assembly.
Complex.
So it is not only the executive that we see spending or adding humongous amounts in their budget to. National Assembly, 30 billion naira. Remember that in last year's budget, there was another 30 billion naira for the same renovation.
Yes.
In fact, National Assembly was complaining
that makes it 60 billion
60 billion naira. That the reason why the renovation work cannot go on is because there is no money. 60 billion naira. How much are we now? Billion, not million, Mr. Darlington. How much are we now going to use to build it?
And they are using 6 billion naira to build a car park, Mr. Darlington, a car park where they will park their cars. Right. And we'll have 5 billion naira earmarked for the student loan for all the students in Nigeria.
So let's have you chiming on this.
I thank God that these things are coming out. For those who say we criticize Tunji, the evidence is clear.
Okay.
Because you cannot give what you don't have. I have been consistent about this. A snake will always be long. No matter what you do to it, it will always be long. From the time I knew Tinubu, he is not known for enterprise. He is not known for building businesses. He is not known for managing businesses. And I challenge anybody to tell me one that he managed. Where was he before he became governor of Lagos State? And what happened after he became governor of Lagos State for 2 terms? People should do historical background check. So when you see somebody like that and you're expecting miracle from him, I myself, I will not expect such a miracle. Because I know it will not happen. If you somebody who have been running a business, you see his track record, you know how he has been managing money and all that, you can say yes, we can have hope that we need somebody with managerial background, because that's what Nigeria needs now to manage this economy. But look at the profligacy, the money you have, the little you have, even borrowed money. This is the only country where people go and borrow money. A government will borrow money and started lavishing it as if the money is going out of fashion. Look at the humongous amount of money people are collecting right, left, and center. Not even, in fact, it's like it has become a status symbol. When this person will ask, how much did you take? This one will say 10 billion. This one, no, my own is 20 billion. This one will say, this one 50 billion. It's like they are competing. They are competing who will steal more. For a country that is on her knees financially, and you are telling me there is renewed hope. Where is the hope? I told you that this year's budget, even though it has been signed, I am telling you they have all lined up their dragnet on how to corner the budget, and that's what's going on now. You can see it going on. They have all calculated how much each of them will collect from this budget. It's obvious. Look at what is going on. Then when the noise becomes too loud, they will look for one small scapegoat. Somebody who is a political orphan. Somebody who has no godfather. Somebody who have no political weight in the power loop. And then use that person as an scapegoat. And you will say, yes, he's fighting corruption. Which corruption? Which corruption is anybody fighting? Gbajabi Amila is right there under his nose. Mele Kolokiari is there at an NPC. Even Dela Alake, who is Solid Mineral, he told us that some powerful Nigerians are behind the theft of our Solid Mineral. But those people have no name. They have no name. But he was able to identify that they are powerful Nigerians. Is that not corruption on itself? If you are the minister and something wrong is going on that your work and you could not address it, it's corruption on its own. I expected people to say, okay, since you cannot run the player, go step down. Let me put somebody there who will name those people and prosecute them. That's what I expected. Since he mentioned, I said that, have anybody asked him who are the people, the powerful Nigerians? I telling you that we should expect worse this year. All this renewed hope, things will get better. Look at how things are getting better. We started the year with this corruption, right, left, and center. You thought it was only a do until Ojo now happened. Okay, let them suspend Ojo now. Precious, let them suspend Ojo because his name came up now.
Mr. Darlington, it's just that he received consultancy fee. You know, we've not even gotten to that story, Mr. Darlington. You're taking us to where we don't know now. Should we just go straight to it now? So now, speaking about corruption, let's go straight to that conversation. So I'm sure you know that it's no longer breaking news that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu today, Monday, suspended the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Betta, following widespread anger over an alleged 585 million naira scandal. Now, the special advisor on media and publicity to the president, Ajuri Ngelale, disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists earlier today. In line with his avowed commitment to uphold the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and accountability in the management of Commonwealth of Nigerians, President Tinubu suspends Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta, from office with immediate effect, the statement reads. Now, all of that is no news. Let's not even bore you with it. I mean, we were here last Friday, Mr. Darlington, when we were talking about that Betta conversation. But let's also let you know that the former humanitarian minister is also, in the same saga as, she had written to the EFCC that she was so sick and that's why she could not respond to their call. But EFCC so far have, they've detained her over the 37.1 billion naira accusation or allegation on her, right? And then Tunji Ojo is also in this matter. But let's quickly let Promise go through that and then before we get a reaction.
So it is said that the company owned by the Minister of Interior, Tunji Ojo, was paid a total amount of 438.1 million by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation under Betta for consultancy services. This was gathered by reporters anyway. And the company, the New Planet Project Limited, was one of the numerous consultants awarded contract from 3 billion given out of the suspended minister's contract. The social register was created for cash transfer and other investment programs. In a document posted by the editor of a media house, a media platform, Jackson Ude, Tunji Ojo's New Planet Project Limited was initially paid 279 million for verification of the list and another 100
verification of list of people who collect money, and the people that are collecting only 25k each.
Yes, so, and
we're paying 400 and something million naira to verify names of people that were giving only 25,000 naira each.
I'm not done yet. Okay, and another 159 million for the same purpose.
That is over 500 million.
An independent check by reporters revealed that the firm has the interior ministers and his wife as directors. One Gbadamosi Clement is also listed as the secretary of the company, which was registered in March 2009 with registration number. It was written here, and the action is, however, against the Nigerian Constitution Code of Conduct.
Of course.
Other beneficiaries include there are plenty. Fabumi Onalikpekun and Co., which got 419 million. Vitzvolt Global Consult was also paid 558 million. Periscope, I said there are plenty. People want me to be naming them.
Wait, all this million in plenty. Then how much will now remain for the vulnerable people now that we want to give money to? That is the same money that was given. So, Mr. Darlington,
there's something here. Out of, I think, about almost 10 companies got or around 300 and something million here, and this is other companies that benefited from the 3 billion contracts are Blue Trend Enterprise, which got 277 million. Blue Trend has no record of being registered, and the owner is unknown. We don't know who owns this company.
So, Mr. Darlington, when we were discussing this matter on Friday alongside you, Andy, Dr. Andy, and Barrister Bakare, he had said that he wouldn't comment much on the conversation until there's details of the conversation and all of that. And then he said that whilst we try to make him believe if there was something wrong, or explain if there was something wrong with sending such a humongous amount of money to an individual account, he said he doesn't see anything wrong with it. And perhaps that's the same line of direction of Betta. You remember that initially when her office reacted to the matter, they said there was nothing wrong in civil service.
This report, however, said that the Interior Minister may have gotten the contract through his former aide and coordinator of the National Program Manager, Grants for Vulnerable Groups, Tylos Akpalowo. Akpalowo served as a legislative aide to Tunji while he was representing Akoko North Federal Constituency at the National Assembly. Okay, he was in National Assembly.
Okay, so Mr. Darlington, back to that conversation. So it's a bit confusing. So now we know. We know that in Betta's first response, she said that there was nothing wrong in federal civil service to pay amount of money, public money to individual funds as long as receipts and all that are presented, right? But then the accountant general came and said otherwise. But at the end of the day, we found out that those monies were eventually paid according to sources.
I said
that the money. So if the accountant general is saying that these monies were paid, he's saying that she did not approve it because in civil service, quoting, the civil service law 209 and all of that, that it was illegal to pay such amount of money to an individual. Then how come at the end of the day we heard that money was eventually paid? Who then approved the payment?
Now the thing is that the first tranche has gone, the 3 billion. It is this 585 million that opened the Pandora's box. They have been paying this money to different companies until this one now got to hook. You remember that it is this particular one that exposed everything. The money has been going into private people's account before now. Until this one now, they never knew that somebody is going to leak this particular one. So I was surprised when APC supporters were telling us there is nothing wrong. It is normal. But I know, even though I have not worked in any civil service, I know that the Financial Regulatory Act forbids it. It's clearly stated. In fact, without being told. That is why when they want to do this dubious contract, they quickly form a company. They register a company. Remember Babachi Alawal? Government cannot do business with us as an individual. They only deal with company. Everybody knows that. So when some people were telling us there is nothing, I was just laughing. Now that the truth has come out, I don't know how they are going to defend it. I just don't know how they will defend it. Look, if you ask me, Betta Edu is just a scapegoat. There are many fat cats down the line. If you trace this particular scandal, there are many names down the line, and I'm telling you, those names, nobody will suspend them. Nobody will talk to them.
So hearing now that or reading that the Interior Minister, is involved in this, and this is one minister that everybody has perceived to be like to having a very impeccable or maybe different character from the other people.
I will continue to be pessimistic, because whenever they are doing stuff, go and check. If they told you they have built a road for you, go and check how much they have stolen from you from that road. That is why I will continue to be pessimistic. As long as these people are concerned, they will never do any favor to you. They will never sacrifice anything to never. They will never. Go and check. So let nobody come and tell me you don't like this person. You don't like. I have my facts. I have known them from time immemorial. They can never sacrifice anything for Nigeria. It's all about themselves. So when they come and showcase they have done it, it's a lie. Check how much they have collected. They can't deceive me. I will continue to be pessimistic as far as they are concerned and the facts are coming out. What are you telling me? How will they finance a 2027 election? Or don't you know what is going on? Hold on, don't you know what's going on? Precious. In America, when they want to do election, you see people donating money to party, party people and all that. They pay money. The presidential candidate, they ask for donation. Please, throughout APC and throughout Buhari, mention one time they launch any program for donation. Can somebody mention any time when APC call people to donate for their campaign and all that? Can you mention? How are they financing their this that they don't have so much money? Did anybody, did you see Peter Obi? Is it not people that even organize wherever he goes to campaign? People finance and do everything for him. True, of course. But in APC, they are the one financing themselves. Who financed Tinubu's election? Did you see anybody come to say, I give Tinubu 1 naira or 2 naira? How did he finance it? How did he? And you say they will not recruit the money. You are wasting your time. It's going to get worse. That is it's a fact. It's going to get worse. Because no country can survive this looting, for God's sake. No country. It's impossible for us to survive this looting. To not matter as well. These are borrowed money. Money. Borrowed, you want to go and borrow. And you say you are going to invest. You are going to invest it in your pocket.
So, Mr. Darlington, we also heard that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has retained the former Minister of Humanitarian Affairs also and Disasters Management, Shadiya Umar Farouk, for questioning over allegations of corruption in handling 37.1 billion social intervention fund during her tenure. So, what is it about? What is in this humanitarian ministry?
Please, promise. I have an issue with EFCC. Seriously. That since after Rubadu, that place have lost its firepower. EFCC is no longer the EFCC that I used to know. Do you remember that this same EFCC, they exonerated Edu immediately this scandal broke? They exonerated and they said that Edu has no question to answer. That she did not do anything wrong.
So you're saying that this Umar Farouk's case may likely
is not likely. If you check how, look, if you know the relationship this man had with some people who in the past government, you know that this matter is not going anywhere. The former Minister of Finance, were you not here when NNPC told you that the $2.4 billion oil money ended in the hand of the former Attorney General and Minister of Finance? Were you not here? They were invited by the National Assembly. What came out of it? Why didn't the EFCC invite them for that? You don't know the level of looting that have gone under this administration or this particular APC. Everybody was thinking that PDP was the devil. Now I don't know what anybody. I am telling you that with what is going on now, PDP was a saint in office. PDP was a saint. Nigeria should apologize to PDP. I'm telling you. With what has happened so far in Nigeria in the last 8 years plus, Nigeria should apologize to PDP. It was never like this. I'm telling you. The thing that it has become so brazen. They steal it brazenly. And when you talk, they say go to court. They no longer have any they don't have any respect for the people they are ruling. They do things with so much impunity and arrogance because they believe nothing will happen. PDP was never like this.
But was there no corruption under PDP?
I said it was never.
Why the Ezani Alice Madueke is still answering? In fact, her own is still seeming hot in gates. There is also a Dasuli Gates. There is so everyone. Mr. Darlington, is corruption about political party or about individuals?
What are the precious? If you consider what was alleged to have done and what Buhari did with NNPC, in fact, Dizani is like a pickpocket. People should apologize to that woman for all the embarrassment she suffered. If you consider what Buhari did with that NNPC under his watch, what went on under Dizani Madueke should be apologized to. What are you telling me? I mean, is it not obvious?
That who did what?
What Dizani did in with NNPC and Minister of Petroleum is nothing. It's like she's just like a pickpocket.
Compared to what?
Compared to what Buhari did.
How would you know that? Who has prosecuted Buhari? What evidence has come out of it? No, what evidence do you have? Mr. Darlington, we speak about Dizani based on the evidences that were made public. The evidences of corruption that were made public.
According to you.
That were made public.
Have any court prosecuted the Dizani?
Oh, Mr. Darlington.
Did any court? Let them investigate Buhari too now. At least we have seen what happened under his watch now.
As a former minister of petroleum.
Yes. You saw so many scandals that happened under his watch. Clearly, did anybody even invite him? Tell me. That is the country we are in. Yes. What has happened now? People should apologize to PDP. They are 10 times better. Yes.
So we're not taking lesser evils.
Yes, now.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they are lesser and better.
Still speaking about corruption, the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja had declared the prolonged detention of a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, without trial as a flagrant violation of his fundamental human rights. So the court also slammed 100 million naira fine against the federal government and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It also restrains the FG and its agents from rearresting or detaining Emefiele without an order of the court. The judgment was given in a fundamental human rights suit filed by the former CBN governor following his prolonged detention in the custody of the Department of State Services. Mr. Darlington, do you think that this is doable? Federal government pay 100 million.
Have they obeyed any court order? Precious, please answer me. Has this federal government, have they obeyed any court order? Remember El Zazaki. Remember Dasuki. Remember Nnamdi Kanu. Court have given ruling on these people, and they should even be paid for unlawful detention. Did anybody listen to them? Please answer me. No, have they obeyed? Not to talk of Emefiele.
Okay, so Mr. Darlington, let's move to other conversations very quickly. And I'm sure you know that Peter Obi has been in the news recently, but it's not just about Peter Obi being in the news. It's also about his right-hand man, Okupe, resigning from the Labour Party, and he's been making a lot of news. So the former Director General of the Obi Dachi campaign, Okupe, has dumped the Labour Party, saying he and the party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, only used it as an SPV, special purpose vehicle, to contest the 2023 general election. Now, Okupe, who was at the forefront of Mr. Obi's presidential campaign, disclosed this in his resignation letter addressed to Labour Party today, Monday. Quoting him now, he says, "I submit here with my letter of resignation from the Labour Party with effect from today." Mr. Okupe said, "You'll recall that our flag bearer, Peter Obi, myself and others left the PDP abruptly and had to look for a special purpose vehicle in which to contest the 2023 presidential election." That's what Mr. Okupe said. That, that the party, that he said he was dumping the party based on ideological differences, describing himself as a rightist and a liberal democrat, and then the party is a leftist. In fact, quoting him now, he says, we did contest the election on the platform of the Labour Party and lost. This makes it exceedingly difficult for me to continue to stay in the Labour Party, which is ideologically rooted in the left of the center. I have been a rightist and a liberal democrat all my entire life. It is therefore this ideological conflict that makes me seek an exit so that I may continue my political activities with liberalism, sincerity, and freedom. Mr. Darlington, he has said a lot, but there hasn't been like an official response yet.
So, Mr. Darlington, before you answer to that, I want to recall, what happened during the campaign, presidential campaign in 2022. We recall that Okupe was accused of 20 million naira corruption, of manhandling 20 million naira of the Labour Party presidential campaign fund. Yeah. And they said out of that 20 million, he only used 4 million naira. And since then, somehow he has been, under the radar as regards this anything concerning Labour Party. You don't really see him come out as he used to. You understand? Before then, do you think this has anything to do with this corruption allegation? You think him leaving Labour Party has anything at all to do with the corruption allegation?
Of course, because Okupe never knew the type of person Peter Obi is.
What do you mean by he didn't know?
He didn't know. He thought that he would be covered, or Peter Obi will overlook his corruption allegation. That was what he felt.
But he just accused Peter Obi of using Labour Party as an SPV. That's a strong accusation.
He said him and Peter Obi.
Please.
Perhaps Obi would react to that.
Please, that talk is unnecessary. How could he have said that? Peter Obi is campaigning on the integrity he has built over the years. That is what is selling Peter Obi, nothing else. And that is what Nigeria needs. Precious, for God's sake, we should stop celebrating charlatans. We should stop celebrating people who don't mean well for Nigeria. Look at men of integrity. When Peter Obi was to contest a governorship in Anambra, or when the candidates were coming out, they went to Betta and Okupe. Anambra people, they came together. So after what happened with Ngigi and the Oba family, they said, who will do this job for us? They went to Emeka Anyoku for him to give them somebody. You know what Emeka Anyoku tell them? That he had 3 names. That the first name is Peter Obi, the second name is Peter Obi, the third name is Peter Obi. Case closed. At the end of the day, did Anambra people not enjoy Peter Obi's leadership in Anambra? That is what we need. This man was a bank chairman of a bank in UK for 20 years without any blemish. I've been saying that let us try people with a record, good record. Let us for once and see what will happen. Not charlatans who will come from nowhere, hijack our emotions, hijack our life, hijack our brain, hijack everything about us, and then railroad into Aso Rock. I will be clapping.
So, Mr. Darlington, Okupe said that he has seen himself as a rightist and a liberal Democrat, and Labour Party is a leftist. So I don't know, but whatever this means, do you think somehow do you envisage Okupe moving to APC?
It's likely now. It's likely. There are people you know their antecedents.
So is APC a rightist?
Sorry?
Yeah, he's a right-wing political party.
Ask him where he want to go to, because I know he must seek for rehabilitation, just like Fani Kayode, who have been jumping from one place to the other. They are looking for rehabilitation. If not, what is wrong with the Labour Party? What is that thing that Labour Party have done wrong? Knowing fully well that the man who is the arrowhead, is a man of integrity.
He said that because Labour Party lost the presidential election, that it makes him really extremely difficult for him to continue with the party because they lost.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So what does that tell you?
Because the party's ideology is rooted in the left of the center.
Can you see?
According to him, it's not me.
He did not even consider what happened during that election. How Labour Party was changed. Especially Rivers and other places. He didn't think of that. He just said Labour Party lost election. That means he wants Labour Party to do what the other people did in order to win election, and the people will clap for him that he won election. The people that rigged this election and got into power, are they happy? Their conscience is flogging them every day, and because of how they got power, look at what they are doing. 8 months down the line, mention one thing, you can clap your hand and say yes, APC Tinubu have done well in this area. Mention one thing, except scandal upon scandal. So why should Donny Okupe, if he believe in Peter Obi and Labour Party, he shouldn't be saying all those things he's saying. He shouldn't, because you and I know very well that he was indicted with a Dasuki's what's it called, Dasuki Gate. He was indicted. He was indicted.
So, Mr. Darlington, speaking about corruption and election rigging, over the way, let's move straight to River State, where the immediate past governor of River State, in some weekends, apologized to the people of River State for imposing his successor, Siminalayi Fubara, on them. That on a no vex impose Petumo on a no like on now. So recall that during the 2023 general election, Wiki picked Fubara as his anointed candidate for the governorship position in River State. Now Wiki, now the minister of the FCT, has since falling out with Fubara. President Bola Tinubu had stepped in to make peace between Wiki and Fubara. However, addressing his followers in River State at the weekend, Wiki admitted he made a mistake by forcing Fubara on the people. In fact, quoting him, he says, "I'm not to say I'm perfect or that every decision I've taken is right. I'm human," he said. "I may have made decisions that may not be palatable to everybody, but in my position, I was influenced to accept it. And you accept it, and you accepted it, and it turned out to be bad. Please forgive me," the minister said. Now, a lot of people are saying that, oh, is this some sort of campaign? Is he envisaging any kind of change in the Supreme Court, and he's, a cancellation of the election, and he's preparing himself to campaign for another anointed candidate again. Now, speaking about rigging of election that you mentioned earlier, I mean, an ally of Nyesom Wike was overheard over the weekend talking about how people shouldn't trust the governor of Rivers State and how they know how he got into power. After all, he didn't win. That they wrote election result for him. Let's listen to him say that. This is Ijeoma.
This may be propaganda.
So now pay back time. Make I tell her not to happen. So the lad didn't give up all the collect them back. So now pay back time. Make I tell her not to happen. You don't fear anybody. If matters are there, will say we are not going to tell us. The election, I would like the result. Because Labour Party, we all the rest, we don't get in there. You know what I mean?
Okay, yes, he was actually not Wike's ally, I beg your pardon. So I think this person was speaking on behalf of the governor of Rivers State, saying that if Martin Amoihule, who is, you know, the weakest faction of the assembly speaker, claims that he won the election, that he should come and tell us how he won, because that they know that they were the ones who wrote the election result for him. The Labour Party swept all the election in Rivers State. He said
when you said he's weakest ally, I don't think you're far from the truth, because Chijioke Ihumo used to be, as of last month, used to be the national youth president in Rivers State.
I think they've fallen out somehow.
Yes, and somehow during this Wike and Fubara's issues, he was arrested, probably by Wike. So they kind of fell out there.
So perhaps that's why he's now speaking against Wike's allies.
Now,
so, Mr. Darlington, before you respond to that, even the same Wike himself, let's just kukuma finish that story at once. Promise, even the same Wike himself said that, as a matter of fact, that Tinubu taught him politics. That betrayal and politics go hand in hand. There is a video of where he's saying that. Let's see if we can take a listen to him say that.
Yeah, he said it.
Why he's not speaking against Wike's allies.
Now,
So, Mr. Darlington, before you respond to that, even
you buy Global 7,000. It crashes. Will you die? You buy a car, and robber takes it on the road. Will you die? You must have shock absorber. That is the only way you can survive. So I'm telling all of you who always cry, hey, this one. If you want to survive in life, you must have a shock absorber. President Tinubu told me, when we were meeting, he said, look, somebody told him, don't try this. Politics and betrayal are the same mother and father. If you don't want to be betrayed, don't enter into politics. I don't know.
All right, so Mr. Darlington, let's have you quickly chiming on this.
Please, this rascality has gone too far. In a normal club, this man should have been arrested.
What did he do?
He confessed what he did.
What was that he did?
What he did in Rivers State. How can you say you appointed a governor for Rivers people? How? Precious, is that democracy? No, tell me, everybody, the whole world is hearing this, and you are telling me that the last election was free and fair. Look at it, they are confessing what they did.
And then somebody who claims that he helped them out also says that they wrote results for them.
How do you explain this?
But as a lawyer now, Mr. Darlington, do you think that the law enforcement agents should take this up?
You didn't hear what I said
INEC
now.
should also take it up?
Because that's what I'm telling you, that there are people in their good book. They can commit murder before the whole world, and they will look the other side.
Is that not too much of an accusation?
What are you taking? You are hearing him now about the one that is saying what Wike said. He has confessed to his crime. He has confessed. What was that the one? I mean, is it propaganda again? In a normal club, they should have picked that man, but who will pick him up? He knows that nothing will happen. That's why he's saying it. So he's not even afraid.
Mr. Darlington, one would think, what is going on with the former governor of Rivers State, that's the current FCT minister? Is it some kind of campaign like Precious said before? Because we know that the APC governorship candidate in Rivers State, Tony Cole, still has a case with Fubara in Supreme Court, and his prayers are that the election should be annulled and reconducted. Do you think somehow there is going to be the Supreme Court judgment will be that the election will be annulled in Rivers State. Do you think that's why Wike is sort of trying to soothing the Rivers people? Peradventure anything happens in future with that judgment.
That is what I'm telling you, that in Nigeria you don't do election, you select the candidate and then use INEC to cover up.
No, Mr. Darlington.
You can see it with precious. I don't get it. Please, somebody have confessed to what he did. Apart from BBC at the premium time, all the investigation they did in River, the real actors have come to confess what they did. Do you need any other evidence? Hold on. Do you need any other evidence? So if tomorrow now the Supreme Court or which court upturn Fubara's victory, and they put their own man there, will you still be surprised? No, tell me. You can see what is playing out. This man is so arrogant because he is now working with Abuja. He's not even afraid. He didn't even see the implication of what he's done to his person. You gather some street urchins and you are brainwashing them, telling them, are those people the real Rivers people? No, are they the real Rivers people that you should gather them? That's the same thing they do somewhere in Lagos here. When they gather some people, they will be telling them this and that, and you think that these are the real Lagos people. They'll be hailing them. Look at who he said taught him politics. Look at the person that taught Wike politics. Look at what he's saying. Am I the one that said it? So they say, tell me your friends, I will tell you whom you are. A very responsible politician who has integrity wouldn't want to be associated with such a person. And that is why I like what Obi did with Okupe.
Okay,
he distanced himself from Okupe.
So, Mr. Darlington, now that you mentioned the town hall meeting, him visiting Victor Giadam, the deputy national chairman of the Labour Party's constituency, the Labour Party APC constituency. Let's quickly take a listen to what he said at that meeting.
How he made him chairman of.
Yes. To make an impact in the life of people. Forget about these hungry noisemakers on the road. When the time comes, we'll know who is in charge or who is not in charge. I don't know whether you understand what I say. There's a time for everything. There's a time to plant. There's a time to harvest. We have no time for politics. There's no time for anybody to say, I'm for this, I'm for that. We have not reached that time. When the time will reach, we will know who is there. If he didn't dare, he didn't dare.
Right, Mr. Darlington. Lagos, let's let you come into the conversation.
This is very, very annoying. Very, very nauseating. I never thought that Nigeria in 21st century will have this. You remember, in fact, what happened during the First Republic? Those people should come and apologize to those people they overthrew that time. Because what happened with those politicians, it didn't get to this level before those boys struck and truncated our democracy. I'm telling you, Nzogu and his people, they should apologize to Tafawa Balewa. Because they never did one quarter of what these people are doing now before the military struck. Look at what is going on. As if there is no law, nothing. People just wake up, talk anyhow, behave anyhow. No, tell me, if they do election tomorrow, you will clap yourself that somebody won. Look at the confession coming out from a Wike's mouth. And you told me that the election was free and fair. And they could tell me he did a very good job. Look at what they are saying. And that is Rivers, so that is Rivers. You can imagine. So tomorrow, don't come and tell me I am making allegation. No, I think I have my facts now. Let them arrest Wike to explain more. If they have the guts, let them arrest him. But you know they will not. You know. So how can you now come and tell me that the election was credible? No, tell me how. With this confession, appointed a governor. I'm sorry to have appointed a governor for you. Can you just imagine?
All right, Lagos phone lines are open. Let's let you jump in on the conversation. It's 0700 903 903 903 and 0700 903 9039. That's the number to call us with. Let's take your thoughts and reactions on the conversation. The phone line, direct line to call is 0700 903 903 903. And then the WhatsApp number is 0700 903 9039. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
My name is Nixon Wanko.
Your name is what? Can you help me turn off the volume of your radio set? Please turn it off.
Can you clearly hear me now?
Very well. Go ahead now. Your name is what?
Okay, Nixon Wanko.
Nixon Wanko, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, I'm greeting your guest, Mr. Darlington.
He can hear you.
May the Lord bless him in a very anonymous way. Talking about Nigeria and the politicians in Nigeria, you can see that we, the Nigerians, we are crying. And nobody cries for someone that is not alive. Let me not use bad word on them. The things are not going good. Things are not going good in this country. I can see where someone with a normal way of thinking will be ruling us this way without even any remorse. It's quite palatable. I agree to know.
Thank you. We greet you too. Well done. Lagos, phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903. Promise, let's see if we can do justice to some WhatsApp messages, but after this
someone
call.
With
hello, good evening.
a normal...
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Can you help me turn off the volume of your listening
will be
device,
ruling us this way without even any remorse. It's quite palatable.
Hello.
I agree to know.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're welcome. Well done. Lagos,
Can you help us turn off the volume of your listening device? We can hear ourselves.
Let's see if we can do justice to some WhatsApp messages, but after this call.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Well, that interference is still there, Mr. Life. You can hear turn off the volume of your listening
will be
device.
ruling us this way without even...
It's not me.
It's your phone. You're listening with your phone and you're calling with the same phone.
No, I've already exit. I've already exit.
You're welcome. Well done.
I'm still hearing someone talking.
Go ahead. Go ahead now, please. Go ahead.
Yes. How are you, Precious?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Promise.
Sir, you're welcome, sir.
My darling thing, I greet you. How was your weekend?
My brother, in fact,
yes, sir.
It's very, very sad.
Yes, sir.
It's very, very
yes,
sad.
Sir.
I'm telling you. As I'm sitting here now, I am boiling inside. I'm telling you.
I know. I know.
These people are just
I don't want to say
as if nobody's here again. Nobody's in Nigeria again. Somebody just come and be talking anyhow to the people, behaving anyhow. It didn't day. What kind of language is that? Can you just imagine?
Well, Mr. Darlington, Wiki was once your best friend, though.
Hold on.
I mean, during the election, when he was doing G5 governance, you liked him.
He was campaigning for a Sultana. I never knew that he has his something.
Is it because he did not support your own candidate?
Should I be supporting?
Did he not support a Sultana? Did the Sultana not win election?
Hold on. When he was campaigning for a Sultana, I was with him because it was even immoral for a Northerner, a Muslim, to leave office for another
but the Muslim is still in office now, but the Southerner is in office. So what is your problem?
Then the way he went about it, are you telling me that this is refined?
How exactly did he go about it?
Is it because he's your brother? People should take him for rehabilitation.
Mr. Darlington, you can't say that about an honorable minister on air, please. No, Mr. Darlington. No, you can't say that on air. Mr. La, go straight to your conversation, please.
Okay, thank you. Precious, I'm just calling to correct myself or something like that. For last week, Friday. I'm not threatening you for what I typed because I know you saw my messages.
Okay, sir.
I did it to protect against what that man is saying. What is happening? So I love you. I love you.
Thank you, sir.
Let me tell you this about this wiki or no wiki. If care is not taken, Wabara seat, they will annoy that election.
Yes,
what is
you
saying?
Think that is what
yes,
that's
what he has announced it now. He has already given the judgment.
He's saying it. He's saying it for Supreme Court to announce that election.
Of course.
That.
Did you not say that the court have not have not ruled?
That's what.
I can say that's my submission. Precious, God be with you. My prayer, my Darlington. Take care.
Thank you so much. Promise, let's run through some messages on WhatsApp and YouTube, please.
Yeah, good evening, Double P and Mr. Darlington. A country that can't provide electricity, security, water, good roads, which are the basic needs of life, have a Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Precious, what is humanitarian apart from the above mentioned? That ministry was created for looting, and that is what is going on.
Because in the past administration, 37.1 billion gone. This time now.
Did you remember when I was telling you here that you should go and show me one person that collected that 25,000?
Mr. Darlington, people got it now. So Tracy Jacobin says things are getting better. They do. We're reading messages.
Did you hear that 500 and something million? Lagos.
That was sarcasm.
Lagos got the highest amount of money, 200 and something million.
And Mr. Darlington, I'm reading messages.
Is Lagos did they have the highest number of poor people? Lagos.
Okay, Mr. Darlington, I'm telling. All right, let me go back.
No, answer me now.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jonathan, calling from London.
Jonathan, you're welcome.
Good evening, Pastor Darlington.
My brother, well done, Jerry.
Yes, sir. Wike situation is a institutional indictment on security, on INEC, and other national institutions. Because when one man said that he appoints, where's INEC, where's security? So, and somebody's bragging on national TV that I did this. And somebody will now stole ₦1 police on the road. And we say that that person is a real criminal. I don't know how we want to cut it. And then for Betta Edu is just, it doesn't have a kind of political roots. That's why it's a victim.
Of course.
You understand?
You think so?
Yes, that's
so.
It's a fact.
Not that I think so. This is what I know. Tell me the contribution Betta I do in.
She was APC woman leader.
What I don't know, we know they know who is who now in the process of overturning election. They know who is who. So don't say Betta I do is shows on TV campaign, but during the judgment case from appeal court down to Supreme Court, everybody knows what happened now. So that's just a victim of this one is even minor. A lot of waters are gone under the bridge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, all right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I promise we're going back to those messages again. So oh my goodness. Okay, the calls now won't let us rest, right?
All right, this says, good evening, Mr. Darlington and PMP. I am Mr. Jude from Okota. Please, Mr. Okupe is warming up to enter APC because if he fails to go there, his case of corruption will come up.
Of course.
Did he wanted Peter Obi to defend him from what he didn't do?
I wonder.
What he didn't know about. You meant that.
I wonder.
This says, good evening. Wike is apologizing to Rivers people for imposing Fubara as his successor, and Wike should also apologize to Rivers people for rigging governorship election in favor of Fubara and presidential election in Rivers State in favor of Tinubu. Leo from Lagos.
Nobody will ask him to do.
All right, and then Tracy Jacobin says things are getting better. Tinubu. Okay, and then Collins Okachuku says, I work for this country. There is no hope for the common man. Why wouldn't there be insecurity, robbery, and vices everywhere? These men are not up to 5% of the population, destroying our destinies and the destinies of millions like this. And Alex Andy says, good evening, PMP. I really appreciate you people. OK says, please, where can I get the full interview details of Peter Obi? So the full interview is on VOP TV Live on YouTube. VOP, that's our TV station, by the way, you know, right? So we had that exclusive with Art television station with him. So he's on VOP TV Live. We're now streaming 24 hours, 247. So you could just go there and jump in. But I'll do well to. Okay, so you know what? I'll ensure that we share the link on our social medias on the TV social media handles. And the TV social media handle is at VOP TV Live. That is VOP TV Live on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. VOP TV Live. So on Twitter and Facebook, it will be posted the link, so you can just go there and watch it. I will ensure that the staff would do that later today. Thank you. Go ahead, Promise.
All right. Good evening. Yusuf from Ijegun says, good evening, House. Dr. Okupe has not seen dollars as usual since he joined Labour Party. He is going back to where they send email to their boxes. Concerning Wike, what does he think? Does he think that he is bigger than the Rivers people? Will Wike only win this battle, if the FG joins him? Apart from that, he will regret all this. Okay. And this says, good evening. Wike, in fact, I was just laughing when Wike was carrying out his analogical delinquency. Wike is too stubborn. Mr. Darlington, well done for your good job. Don't mind Wike Jare. He's just being stubborn. Francis from Festa.
All right, so we'll go back to YouTube where Tracy Jacobin says Wike's voice is doing you some. He's doing you somehow. Surplus Link says, during my era as a trader in Nigeria, no company pays kobo into an individual account. The payment will hang until a private company account is gotten. Better you do knew this. They are dealers and not leaders. Aloysius Emechebe says, good evening, Precious and Promise. Good evening, Mr. Darlington. He said, in fact, Mr. Darlington is my role model. I love you so much. You always speak my mind every time. Tracy, sorry, the way Wike's voice is doing it. That's my former governor's voice. Kenneth Osapita says, the most pathetic thing is to see folks laughing foolishly, you say, to a worthless talk sometimes in 21st century. Okay. So go ahead, Promise.
Good evening, VOP. Embezzlement is a tradition of Nigerian government, past and present. Some outstanding ways by which they carry out their nefarious activities are by 1. Acquiring registered private company where they award pseudo contracts to siphon monies from the national treasuries. Another thing they do, most especially in the civil service, is to arrange ghost employment and siphon Nigerians' hard-earned monies in the form of salaries into their private accounts. Another ways, they award contracts with humongous amounts to carry out substandard execution in such a way that it will spoil in no distant time, and they reward it again. Only God can help this nation out of the hands of our devourers. Egege from Agege is saying this. And this says, good evening, Precious, Promise, and Mr. Darlington. Kudos to your analysis. Precious, political elite in Nigeria is like a typical Jews who refuse Jesus, the savior, and accepting Barnabas, the criminal.
Can we quickly take this call and come back to that?
Let's do that.
Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, Auntie P. This is your sister Sarah.
Sarah, cue Sarah. That's how you left me, Abby. And you tell me what to do with me now, right?
Auntie P, Happy New Year. I just want to talk on this topic. This topic is close to home. You see, this Auntie Betta, she has had it in her in a long time.
Are you serious?
If you know, you know. If you have no,
I know her in person.
I'm not going to go there, but Auntie Betta has a history, and I always, when I see her interviews, don't get me wrong, when I see her interviews on TV or on social media, right, she talks a lot, but she says a lot of nothing. If you're the type who pays attention to speeches like I do, you hear her talk, but you're struggling to pick content. Absolutely nothing. It's very empty and shallow, her thoughts. And I always observe, like in all the social media blogs like the Nike, she was always paying for advertising spots. I'm like, who does that? A minister of humanitarian, why are you paying for advertising space? And all is to create a facade, right? They create this whole film to show that they're doing something, whereas it's all empty. Exactly. Anyway, I wish her all the best. I hope she meets her Waterloo at some point. Hey. Then for Wike, who the God wants to destroy first make. Man. I'll leave that alone.
Hey,
just leave him alone. People should stop stressing about Wike, right? Wike, look at what is going on in Abuja. My family in Abuja, they say now kidnapping they go on. They say Wike
we had that story about
yes, there was even a kidnapping, about 10 people in an estate. Yes, yeah. Today.
It says that everybody's on high alert, everybody's on high attention, whereas Wike is in Rivers fighting Amina Ngozi and Lara there. Hey. He has lost focus in Abuja, and I kind of feel bad for Tinubu because I feel his hands are tied. I'm sure people are already whispering to his ear saying this Wike, but he don't swallow bone whether hook out for throat. Nothing if he do. So make us just leave Wike, just to pray for him, say whatever is chasing him, he finds some kind of peace. Make una leave all this and make una remember to take mental health break Co. This is a new year. It is well, Auntie Sarah. Bye bye. Remember, I said you're supposed to jackpot. We wait for you for Canada.
They come meet you for Canada. Just wait for me. Keep my apartment there. Thank you.
Okay, bye, my dear.
All right, bye, honey. All right, Promise, go ahead, please.
All right, good evening, Precious, Promise, and Mr. Darlings. Okay, I was somewhere. Every person's ability is always can be traced to his or her past records. H.E. Peter Obi have very good past record as governor of Anambra State, and nobody have disapproved him. Precious, why is your governor always seeking for your former governor always seeking for publicity? He always talk like tout. Please, Precious, caution him. They are telling you humongous corruption in almost all ministries in the present federal government. All these people who continue to cause this pain to Nigerian citizens must surely pay for it. I don't know why Nigerians are keeping quiet. After all this evil, I know you presenters have more serious information of more corruption than we listen. Uba Fidelis from Andimosho.
People are making my voice crack now. It will not start sounding like my former governor.
Report the happenings. He said, good evening, Precious, Promise, and Mr. Darlington. Listening to the sound by you played from the former River State governor and the other individual exposing the rot that was done during the last election, what do you expect should have been done by now? Isn't it the job of the DSS and police and other government agencies to arrest such person? But I believe the good-minded lawyers and sound should take this off with him because you are so much. I don't understand you. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. This here from Anna Paul Kuka says I shouldn't pick him a star. Peter Osifo's call that you don't like listening to him because he's always antagonizing, right? Anna Paul, you didn't tell me you got my package, right? Did you get my package? Because package was sent to you. I mean, the prayer was sent in your account. I hope you got it from my birthday.
We go back to WhatsApp. This says, good evening, crew. They come from Oko. When you appoint
okay. Well, let's go and take call. You need to calm down. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, Pepe. Good evening, Pepe.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Promise, and good evening, Mr. Dalalente.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome.
Yes, this is Prince Akwati, and I just wanted to contribute a little bit to what you guys are saying. First and foremost, nobody should feel any remorse about Betta Edu. Okay, Betta Edu was once a commissioner in Cross River, and that woman, yes, commissioner of health, and that woman ran that ministry down.
Yes, it's on record.
Okay,
it's on record. Yes,
it's on record. Yeah, if you don't go to Cross River right now, their primary health system is nothing to write home about. It's nothing to write home about. And she was brought into this by Ben Ayadi. So nobody should exonerate. Nobody should just exonerate her. She knew what she was getting into. And all this money that they're embezzling, look at it. Something that is supposed to go to the poor people is now that they're using what they call consultancy and other stuff. Are they consulting? Don't they know how to count money? Can they go to the market and make sure that they give it to the real people that need it? But they want to do consultancy, and they take the one that they can take. Another thing is, for Wike, I've chosen not to talk about that man. I think that man being drunk, is affecting him. I'm sorry to say, by the time you are fond of taking a liquor for a very long time, it affects your wisdom.
Prince Akwachi, your life on radio, please. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, hello, good evening to you.
He said it himself that he takes alcohol early in the morning.
Hello, good evening to you.
Is that not what he said?
Good evening, Sister Precious and Promise.
Sir?
Good evening. And Mr. Darlington.
You're welcome.
Happy New Year to you all.
Yes. Welcome. What's your name, Sam? Where are you calling from?
My name is Peter Osifo.
The same you that they said should not take your call.
I had them say that.
All right, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
God bless you. Once more, Happy New Year to you, please.
Go ahead.
Yeah. In my own opinion and observation, I've come to realize that Barrister Darlington in that studio is an anti-corruption crusader, which is very, very good. I myself am an anti-corruption crusader. I like that. But what I'm surprised at is that he has never seen anything good in this government for the president.
What is good?
APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu with passion. I don't know why.
Mention what is good.
Calm down, let him finish. You have your time.
Continue. I have a lot. There are a lot of items that have been listed out, but I don't want to speak on any of the items for now.
No. Peter Osifo, if you want to talk, you can mention. You have to speak on our topic. So we raise a topic for conversation. You cannot call into the station and not talk on our topic. You will talk on the topic, except you don't want to talk.
Something last Friday.
Okay. Listen. But Kabbalah just said I should mention at least one thing or any other thing that this government has done well. Recently, the latest one is listening to the public. That is a good listener. We have just suspended Betta, the humanitarian.
Is that a project? I don't understand.
How does that affect the lives of? How does that affect the lives of poor Nigerians positively?
You can never say anything good in that. However, what my main reason.
Are we not the one that raised the topic?
That is fatality. The only thing I want to say one thing about you. I've come to understand.
No, you are not. No, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let you. No. This is not. No, Mr. Darlington. No.
Allow this man.
No, Mr. Darlington. This is not. You're not putting Mr. Darlington on the hot seat. You understand me? This is a station where you come to talk about things that's happening live on air. You respond to our conversation and not, talk to the speaking the character of Mr. Darlington. If you have anything about his person, go and meet him on social media. So if you should sort it out, or you get his phone number and sort it out with him.
Tell me what you want to tell.
I appreciate you. Hello, good evening.
You have nothing to say. Good evening.
Yes, good evening and welcome.
I think it's kind of hot in the studio.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying everything. Sir Darlington, I'm enjoying your analysis. I promise kudos.
Hi, good evening.
So, in fact, let me pick them with it. These are the kind of people we have. Let me say, as Nigeria, a lot of the countries.
We can't hear you properly. There's a problem with your connection. Unfortunately, we can't hear you properly. Unfortunately, apologies. We can't hear you properly. Anna Paul, I see you. Thank you so much. Perhaps my assistant responded to you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes.
But I'm Pressure. Good evening.
Sir, good evening, sir. Welcome.
This is Steve calling from Ikeja.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
But Pressure.
Sir?
Please, I want you to help us to call your guest on Friday, Bakari. No, help me to call him because our beauty pageant minister, he was defending on Friday. Please, can you help us to call him?
It's not my guess that you people want to come and finish this show.
Our senior bros was still talking. Darlington, he was defending. Please, can you help us to call him back to that studio so that he will use his eye and his mouth and hear what is happening? He was defending.
You are very correct.
He was defending that.
Yes.
What we have
He's looking for details. The details are
I am not surprised, though. I am not surprised. I'm surprised. Concerning BK, that can happen. We don't forget that his political career is all over because the APC is that same. Tinubu mandate we shall stand. If they didn't think they will give mandate, they will not give him mandate. He just wasting his time. Neither PDP or APC. Yeah, he will just finish 8 years of Tinubu, and that will be the end of Wike. Where is Amechi today? Is anybody see Amechi?
I wonder.
So the one we had just had is just small. You know, if breeze do not blow, we know that Reverend Father is putting on trousers. There's a lot of things that is happening. We just got Betta Edu. There's other ministers who have cocoa inside their cupboard. Just need to patient. Everything will start coming out. We never knew that ministers in terror is involved. When they mention his own money, everybody is shouting. More is coming. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. God bless you too. Thank you so much. All right, promise. Let's run some WhatsApp messages very quickly.
Now this says, when you appoint Agbero to a CEO of an organization without interview, the result you get from him is corruption, above the law, looting, gang of thieves, eye service, propaganda, hypocrisy, etc., etc. This is what has happened to Nigeria. When you don't come for debate, the result you get is no vote by. I will not say that. Agbero intimidation, compromise INEC, and police cash and carry judiciary. The result is the nightmare Nigerians are facing. Check all that are around him, from senators, ministers, and governors, corrupt individuals. Like they say, birds of the same feather flock together. It's a
tell me your friends. I will tell you who you are.
You didn't say your name. I would have loved that you added your name here.
All right, then we'll go to YouTube now, where we still have quite a couple of messages on YouTube. And Surplus Link says, during my era as a trader. Okay, I think I've taken that. Aloysius Imiche, I think I've taken that too. And then Kenneth Osapita says, the most pathetic thing is that people clapping. Okay, Kenneth Osapita says, the most pathetic thing is, oh wow. Okay, Maintain Man says APC renew Guinea. Okay, Maintain Man. And Tracy Jacobi, you don't want to know what he said there. He knows I'm not going to read it. Betta Edu was the side chick of Governor Ayade of Cross River State. Are you serious? You guys can carry fake news, ciao. And then Quite Solo says Betta Edu and Sadiya Omar Farouk, who served as humanitarian affairs and poverty alleviation ministers for Muhammadu Buhari and Tinubu and Bola Tinubu, are now answering questions on how they stole from the poor. The Nigerian whom they were supposed to be caring for. And the fact that these women are mothers who should know the pains other mothers and families are going through to keep their home. Shows the depth of their wickedness. They must be jailed. And Dada Adedayo says, good evening, Mr. Darlington, my man of the year and the APC spokeslady. And I never tire. With this government, blessed are those who do not expect, for they shall not be disappointed. All eyes, I say all eye service, hypocrisy, and propaganda. Oh wow. Chidi Otugo says, I like the color from Canada. She just nailed it. And Tracy says, Peter Osifo is an Agbado. And then Linda Holding says, the other lady wearing wig, that will be Precious Inyi, is cheeky and she seems to be a wiki stooge. Now my governor. Maddie P says, I have no friend. Who am I? I don't know. Thank you. Promise, back to your WhatsApp.
All right. Good evening, Precious and Mr. Darlington. Tinubu knows that if he expels Wike from office, he will expose him. Tinubu don't swallow bone.
Expose what?
Where him no fit commot. John from Ikeja. You think so? Good evening, Precious, Promise, and Mr. Darlington. It seems Wike has lost it as a normal politician. If Nigeria is working state by now, Wike should be in custody, answering questions of all his confession during the 2023 elections of how they write election results. Tinubu is surrounded by his, so I don't expect anything good from the. I'm not saying that.
Tinubu is
Casey from heaven.
This type of man.
Betta embarked on a journey to refine her skills as a masterful pilferer during the COVID-19 in Cross River State. Amid the challenging circumstances brought upon by the COVID-19 pandemic, she set foot in the realm of larceny, starting from the elementary stages. However, she persevered and dedicated. However, her perseverance and dedication have paid off, as she now proudly proclaims her status as an accomplished top-tier thief. Peter from Germany.
Precious, did you remember that this Edu, when she came, she exposed a certain 44 billion that was moved from that NSIP.
That is why Halima is suspended. Yes, exactly.
Good. And then if you are an ordinary person, you will be taken in by such behavior. You will say, this man, this woman is an anti-corruption fighter. Look at what she did. That was why they now led this ambush for her. That is it. You expose me, okay, I will expose you too. That's what is going on. That is
so you think it's just a simple payback?
That is why she was saying that it was the handwork of
mischief makers.
But is it true or false? That is the question. The right thing, everything, you signed it. It's clearly written. It's not an allegation. Right. So what is mischief here? What? So when these people are doing this, and I told you, don't be taking in that is me, that is me. Remember these ministers, when the list came out here, you told me even before we come, say, Mr. Darlington, don't condemn all of them, don't do this. I say me. Oh yeah, now.
Right. Is that what I told you?
Yes,
in private or open?
Now you said that.
Is it in private or open? So something you and I spoke about in private. So that is how, if I was married to you now, talk in the bedroom now, and you come and bring up bedroom talk to parlor.
Marry me first.
I will not marry you again.
So you're proposing?
I'm not marrying.
Well, let's go back to WhatsApp, please. So good evening. What is happening in our court concerning Emefiele? Please tell him to return the money stolen by him and his colleagues before taking money for unlawful detention, more than 4 trillion naira. And this says, good evening to you all. The topic of Edu's alleged corruption was well debated on your program on Friday, with Barrister Bakari, and on Monday the same woman is suspended for proper investigation and to be carried out on her position on her. That is still a step in the right direction. If the woman is left to enjoy her office without any investigations, Nigeria will still complain. I know holistic fight against corruption is the way to go, but any fight against corruption at all, I support it. Yinka from Ifako Ijaye.
And then this says, good evening everyone, my name is Collins from Apapa. Mr. Darlington, let me finish this message now. Sorry.
What killed Buhari's regime? This selective prosecution, that was what destroyed Buhari's anti-corruption fight. I told him here, I said, look, this thing will not work, because one PDP person you prosecuted for corruption, 5 APC people have taken over from him. So what have you done? What have you done? Is that how his regime ended? That his regime has become the worst in terms of corruption. Though there is Tinubu is still loading.
Can we continue? Prince from Ilasa says, Mr. Darlington, my God will honor you, sir. A country with over 40 mineral resources has nothing to show for it. The only thing this APC government knows how to do is rob Nigeria in broad daylight. Sometimes I wonder if the same crude oil we are selling with Qatar, you wonder if it's the same crude oil we're selling with Qatar.
All right, Emmanuel says, good evening, VOP. What does Nigerians want? That's how you typed it, not water. Okay. What does Darlington want? A minister was found wanted and suspended, yet Darlington is not satisfied. What else does Darlington want?
I don't know, Mr. Darlington. Before you answer that, let's go further. This says Darlington like to speculate without facts to back his claim against government and Wiki. I know Darlington will not happy the way Tinubu government is fighting corruption. You're not happy the way the government is fighting corruption, Mr. Darlington, because he never expected it. Since it was not Obi that is doing the job, Olu from Badagry, you're saying it's precious. You allow your listener to attack your guests, Mr. Bakari, without respect.
Mr. Bakari,
what do you mean?
Without respect on Friday, but you are here defending Darlington as a guest today.
Look at this people. Look at this.
Me that used to read the poto messages people used to send to Mr. Darlington. And then this year says, hi sweet precious, promise and wonderful Darlington. Please precious, I beg you, next time that opportunity to talk about any caller or your guest, because he is always fond of, I shouldn't let Peter Obi talk about my guest because he's always fond of doing that. He said he does that same thing in every other radio station. It shows the kind of person he is. When you have a bad government who is doing something wrong, he is part of those people who keep clapping for them. That is that they are doing the right thing. That is what you said. Wow, that's your opinion. All right, Lagos phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. That's the number to call. But let me run through. Before I do that, let's just go on YouTube. I have a few calls to take. Hello, good evening.
Hello, question.
Sir.
Yeah, good evening, everybody there.
Good evening, welcome.
Yeah. Posterity is judging Posterity is judging him now. Because that yacht they bought Where did the money come from?
The yacht was approved in Buhari's tenure, not him, Bikono.
The yacht, we had, they have told us that the yacht have come in before the approval of the district.
Yes, now.
Because the
money for it was approved in another tenure before his own.
But it's APC.
No, the yacht has been bought before Nigerians told us. Before they told Nigerians that they want to do this. One of the senators revealed that the yacht has already come in.
Exactly.
When Nigerians never know, they are talking about the money. So a good fruit can never bear bad fruit, and a bad fruit can never bear good fruit. Then concerning yes on weekend. Yes on weekend, he tried to do Godfatherism, but in his own, he didn't allow anybody to do Godfather for him. So it's like a rat that follows the lizard to enter water. So lizard has dried, the man is own. God is own will dry. You know where it is.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. All right. All right. A few more messages here on YouTube. Fabian Obiera says Osifo is it's a simple question he couldn't answer. No, don't do this. I'm not even going to answer respond to this. Dennis Vandrick says Donye Okupe was suspended before the elections. He did not dump His Excellency Peter Obi. Donye Okupe left Labour Party. Please stop this misinformation about His Excellency Peter Obi. And then Lindo's Holding says lovely program, watching from Johannesburg. I love you guys. We love you. Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chris. I'm calling from Satellite.
Chris, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Mr. Darlington, good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. How you doing? Anna Meow, I full ground.
I make you enjoy very well. Continue. Okay. God will continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
This corruption of 18 the thing is already in the blood of this APC government. You know, when we are castigating good luck, is that they will do better. 8 years of Buhari, these kind of things happen. It's just that nobody had the impetus to raise an eyebrow. Like people are saying, all the ministers in question, if you put them one after the other, there may be those that are worse than Betta.
Yes.
There may be those that are worse than Betta.
Exactly.
Wike is parading himself, an erratic Bulgarian, parading himself and doing all sorts of things with reverse people's money. Wike cannot tell me that he's fighting all these things he's doing, rigging election with money, doing all this, buying votes and what have you, with his own personal money. How much does he want?
I wonder.
How much? What is giving him the morale is that nobody can do anything like you said, Mr. Darlington. Nobody will probe him, nobody will question him, nobody will query him. That is why he's using reverse people's money, and the people are keeping quiet. I think we are the worst for it. We the common man are the worst for it. We can take these people on. If Nigerians can most, that kind of thing cannot happen in North Africa. There's some part of the world it cannot happen. Look at Wike coming to tell us that he made a mistake, which means he single-handedly brought Fubara to become the governor of Port Harcourt. Which means the people's vote did not matter. What an affront! What a rubbish! And we have a president that is fighting corruption. By today, as he has suspended radio, the same thing would have happened to Wike immediately if Mr. Tunji wants to save himself. Now, 7 months down the line, this man is standing to tell us that 2027 is standing for him, which means they're not doing any work. Okay, which is divided between Abuja and Port Harcourt or Rivers. You know, campaigning already for 2027 for somebody who have not settled down yet. 7 months in government, you are talking of 2027. You see how they're rubbing shit on our face. What kind of process is this? Which country did I find myself? Why did I find myself in Nigeria for the crisis? Why did I find myself in Nigeria? Why am I in Nigeria?
The man is lamenting.
7 months down the line, you have not done 3 years ago. You already started campaigning. People are already supporting him, trying to Muslim vote for him, that he will win. They are assuring him. Any other person that is coming doesn't matter. In Nigeria, and Mr. Tunji, with all his integrity as he stands, think this is right. I'm ashamed to hell with them that are supporting them. But God knows how he does with them, and he will deal with them. He will deal with them his own way. We can continue. Let him continue. He has the money, and the PDP is quiet. But no problem. We the people, our prayers will work. And they know how it happened. I don't want to mention names. Those who have tried it before, they know how it happened. Yes. Those who think they are God, that they can do everything or do anything, we will not talk, we will not happen. It's money to give the poor. You diverted it to private accounts. Somebody that just 7 months in government, a woman for that matter. Gate was there. We have not forgotten it. I thought we have forgotten it. Farida Waziri.
That one don't die.
The journalist Magic, wherever she is today. You see? I'm not going gender based. I just know why I'm mentioning women. Come to Abulado here, precious people. Who know Abulado here? Then Abulado here. Come and see satellite. The way the road is satellite. Ask the woman in question here. The local government woman here. The whole local government woman here. What she's doing with the money that education they're giving to her every month. I want you to people come and leave the state. See how we are suffering here. The road we are traveling, the road we are moving on here, the street here. No of them. You can't put your. If they tell you this is Lagos State, you will not believe it. Even my village is better off. We can't pass there. Many rainforest. If anytime it rains, the whole street here, the whole shops here, everywhere is flooded. Please let them ask the woman in the Oriade local government what she's doing using the money they are giving her to do.
Are you even sure they are giving?
Please leave your station, leave papers, please. Stop reporting America. Stop reporting what is happening in Asia. Stop reporting earthquake here and there. Come to Abulado, come to local places. Come and see what is happening. Come and video this. The pictures I'm putting in Punch. Put in the vanguard. Let the people see it. Let them see it. The governor for almost how many years he has been in office? Is it 5 years going to fix that? He has not visited his satellite.
Not
to talk of the road here, please come and see. I think the woman here is at the local government. She doesn't, even when she's party, nobody greets her because the people don't like her. And she said, he didn't vote for me. And she celebrated, Kid Crowd the other day celebrated 6 years. The roads here, from here to Abulado to satellite down to Ijebu, all are completely what off. Let them continue. Our God will deal with them in his own way. Mr. Darlington, I enjoy you a lot. It's just that we don't have time to get in a precious will not pick our course.
Sorry.
We are not for that. Listening to you alone gives me joy. Now that I have listened to you now, and I've had the opportunity to speak with you one-on-one, I can go now and sleep well.
Okay,
where I listen to others. I know I'm taking enough time. Please, pardon me.
Sir?
I didn't get your New Year this year, no.
No, sir.
If Mohammed doesn't go to Mountain, Mountain will come to Mohammed.
Mountain should come to Mohammed.
I will take my own New Year to you.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling.
Do you know that the palliative they put their picture there? Are you aware?
All right. Hello. Let's attend to this call and then we get back to that. Hello. Good evening to you.
Yeah. Good evening, Richard from Germany. Good evening, my beautiful ladies and my brother Darlington. About that lady called Betty Edu, right? Mm-hmm. I think the problem is the system. The system is so backward, so chaotic. I don't understand why in 2023, 21st century, that Nigerian government is sharing money, what Germans call bargain. That is, you give, hand to hand.
I'm telling you.
In 21st century.
I'm telling you.
Government money, not even private money, but government money, and they come out and they are proud of telling you they are sharing 25,000 naira to people. Which people?
The poor of the poorest.
Pardon?
The poor of the poorest, sir.
Yeah, but who are the poor of the poorest? Because if you go to my village now, if you go to my village, you have a lot. In fact, you have women who have nobody to help. Like for this Christmas, we did some little we could. These people, they don't even know that government exists. So where are these people sharing this money?
Yes, no.
Where are these people sharing this money? And then in a country that Nigeria doesn't even know how many Nigerians we are, how many Nigerians. As long as we don't have exact, figures, population figures, how many Nigerians we are, the whole thing will be just, fraudulent. You cannot just start, dashing money here and there. Last time it was Professor Oshibanjo was even giving money in the market. A professor was dashing money in the market. They have started. They are doing the same thing. Let me tell you, for here over here, like if you are asylum seeker, if you enter here immediately, your data are taken. The first thing they are going to force you to do is to go and open your bank account, because they will never give you any money cash. All these Syrians and Afghanistan, how many millions of them? The first thing is immediately their fingerprints are taken. The second thing is they will go and open bank account. That's how everything works. You don't start dashing government money, putting money into private accounts, and you think you are fighting corruption.
Thank you so much.
And then, excuse me, please. And Wike is a product of Nigeria, because if Nigeria is really functioning, that person shouldn't have been that man should have been in prison by now. But he's a product of Nigeria. He's doing what he's doing because the state is just, I think there is no state anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, so Mr. Darlington, speaking about this money thing, we all criticize Buhari's government for handing money to people, and just like he said that it's done in Germany, would the better way to handle this not to have been to forces people to open accounts and the money paid into their accounts? And that would even make for better accountability, because you can trace the accounts that these monies were paid into, but it's difficult to trace people that you have handed over money to. I don't even know. I don't know why this. Do you
remember the day we argued this thing, when I was telling you that the poorest of the poor, nobody will ever reach them where they are? I told you this thing. We argued it here, that they don't even have bank account.
Okay, so Mr. Darlington, while we were still talking, we had somebody join us in the studio. We had Dr. Moses Paul. I call him Dr. Mo, by the way. He joined us while we were here. He's an author, The Nigerian Dream. He's a thought leader, social activist, and member of Betta Campaign Council. Dr. Mo, thank you so much for obliging me your presence this beautiful evening. I was just about to go to my step-down conversation, but you caught me and I said, no, I cannot say no. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you so much. So I just thought we could just jump in on this conversation very quickly. One of you just resigned and cited a lot of issues whilst he's resigning. That's talking about the former Director General of your campaign council, Dr. Okupe, resigning. And he said it was based on ideological differences. I'd like to get your response to that before I dig further into that.
I think that's fine, and it's important for somebody like me and other high-profile people in the party to respond to this, and I think it's beautiful in a way, because it's not on personal ground but on ideological differences.
He said he's a right-wing politician and you guys are far left-wing politicians.
That Labour, to add to what she said because Labour Party lost the presidential candidate, that is one of the reasons why he's
the presidential election.
They lost the
election, brother.
The election. That's why he's leaving.
Exactly.
And then of course that, which is why he's a father and a leader in the party. He was our DG, well respected and a veteran in the Nigerian politics. And I would wonder that somebody of his caliber, who is also a personal friend to me, but to have said that, it brings a lot of question again. Like I said, a veteran is not somebody who just jump into things. If he knew exactly what the ideology of the party was before he jumped in, and now he's jumping out, citing these issues, I think we should be asking them to do a lot of questions, because, again, that brings the sad reality to what our polity is. We say, for example, that we don't have ideologies. Nigerians just move from one party to another just based on, what is, in quote, when things are good, interest, which is really sad, because it does not help the resolve of what we're trying to build in the younger generation. So it leaves us to a country that where we are with all the issues that are bothering, because we're trying to build the one thing that that is very critical and that is so beautiful about the 2023 general election. coming from the NSAS movement to the obedient movement, aka the New Nigeria, movement, is the fact that it's based on ideology, an ideology of zero corruption.
And what I was going to ask what that ideology would be, because I mean, there's been accusation of an ideology that is not conforming with, that of what you just preached, which is that of a new or developing Nigeria, based on what Okupe said.
Yeah, so that's the point I'm saying, that he is living that ideology of no shishi. That ideology that's left.
Do you think this has anything to do with him being indicted for for some amount of money, about 700 million naira?
And also during the campaign, there was a 20 million naira, corruption levied against him during the presidential campaign. It was said that the 20 million was earmarked for a campaign and he used only 4 million. And then on Twitter, a lot of obedience called for his resignation. It was dramatic. Do you think this is, it was one of the reasons?
It's something that I'm trying.
And then he withdrew as the campaign director,
yes,
the DG rather.
Yeah, that was based on an allegation that was a couple of years ago while he served under, I don't remember which presidency now.
That was President Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so that has nothing to do, that's what they refer to as a witch hunt in our political parlance, But alluding to the 20 million naira, I mean, I traveled around the country with him, and I can tell you that that's just part of some of the just opposition trying to malign his character.
So you cannot confirm that he actually embezzled any kind of money?
He did not embezzle.
Because there were accusations from, I think Labour Party members from Ogun State.
Yes, a Labour Party member
from Ogun State. And they said that monies that were meant to,
particularly for your state
crowd.
Campaign.
Exactly, mobilized crowd and all that he kept it to himself. And that those monies, those people were not mobilized.
Yes. It was the Ogun people that suspended him first. Ogun people.
Yes, but I'm saying that if you remember, the suspended national youth leader, who is also a personal friend and somebody I've worked with for many years, Aragbe Anselm, that was beaten, in Benin just a few days ago. It was it's tapestry of that story that led to where we are today. So that is also to confirm and collaborate what I'm saying, that what happened in his state leading to his being exited from the party is not necessarily correct, because as a DG, of course, there were people that he how do I put it now, because he was also anchoring some of the activities of the campaign in his state, it led to some of those fractions, because he was overseeing, like we say, micromanaging, and some people didn't quite like.
So you think that those were just politically motivated?
Those are political. What I'm saddened about is the fact that you are saying that you are now moving to a center right. Center right is what has kept Nigeria where it is. Center right is what has pulverized, has suppressed.
Labour Party was the left.
Exactly. People have galvanized around the Labour Party because it's people-oriented movement, which is why Dr. Doyle, who went in the first place, joined the Labour Party. But to wake up now and say you are going back to the center right,
to the right,
to the people who have impoverished Nigeria for all these years, where you were before, it's like going back to. Are
you envisaging Okupe going for APC?
Well, I think Okupe will have to answer to that.
Since he cited that the fact, one of the reason why he left Labour Party was because they didn't win the presidential election, and APC won the presidential election.
Well, that's some, and I can defend and confirm to the fact that the Labour Party won the presidential election, but it was stolen. Because of course we have no, and I boldly can say it on my integrity, that as it stands today, we have suspended the Constitution of Nigeria completely, and I have.
You're making this allegation on public radio. You're aware of that?
On public radio, I'm saying that because the Constitution, when one of Buhari's greatest legacy was signing the bill, 2022 bill, the electoral
bill
that was signed into, and our laws. When people say Constitution is our problem, Constitution is not our problem. Nigeria's Constitution is one of the best constitutions in the whole world. Yeah. I've spent about the last 3 weeks or so in the United States of America, and I tell people, and I can say it here because I said it there. I had meetings in 3 states, from New York to Atlanta to North Carolina, and I spoke to very groups of people, and I said that All the founding fathers of America and Europe, they are all criminals. They all own slaves. It's not even my word. Just Google it, you will see it.
You are very correct.
You know,
but Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly. More people die in America every day than are dying in Nigeria. But you don't see Americans cursing America. They hold people accountable. You know, you can see what is happening in Jos, for example. People are dying in Zamfara every day. You think you want to make the Jos case a religious case? You are removing something from the efficacy of it. People came and killed people. These are criminals. These are terrorists. The moment you label it religious, then you have empowered the sect to defend their people. It's like somebody stole and then you say it's a Yoruba thief or an Igbo thief or a Hausa thief. The moment you do that, you are empowering the ethnic tribe to come and, like I saw a post today where people are saying, leave our daughter alone, or she did not do anything. A woman who paid money. Our constitution didn't only talk about criminality. Our constitution is so detailed to what? Even to the intention of criminality. It's like you are saying that there is street light. But no, let's bend this. This street light is not the problem. If you cross it, you have broken the law. The fact that I have a president today that did not win Abuja the constitution is suspended. It's not my word, it's the constitution. And I say it with my full chest because my loyalty is to the constitution of Nigeria.
All right. So my phone lines have been buzzing crazy. Let's go back to the calls. There 0700 903 903 903 and 0700 903 903 Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, Precious.
Sir?
Nigerian politicians, they will remain what they are. Why I'm saying this is concerning the Okupe. I think a needle has been choked on him, so he decided to run to the center. Let them keep running around. One day, judgment will fall on them.
Thank you.
That is all I have to say.
Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, promise you want to run through some WhatsApp messages?
All right. This says, good evening, everyone. Peter Obi won 25th February presidential election, and I can swear with my life now, and God bless your guests for speaking that Peter Obi's mandate was stolen. You from Lagos is saying this. And this says, Precious, why didn't you discuss the 200 million and 100 million palliative given to your senators and representatives to share to Nigerians? For real fact, Labour Party won 2023 election. And this says, good evening, Precious, Promise and Darlington, always making our day. We love you guys still. We love you. You love us, we love you. And this says, Obina from good evening, VOB crew in the studio. Mr. Darlington, my heart bleeds each time I remember that President Tinubu was part of the you people. And this is good evening to beautiful ladies and Mr. Darlington. APC government since the time of Buhari has been practicing you said something system. Tinubu promised to continue from where Buhari stopped. Good night to you, Okosisi from Surulere. Prince from Ilasa. Every time they are saying poorest of the poor, who is the poorest of the poor? They are talking about who is the poorest of the poor they are talking about. Where are they registering? I have said it before, we don't reach the end point of the national pledge, which says so help us God. So we've gotten to the point of the national pledge that says so help us God. And this says, evening, Precious, Promise and Darlington, please help us ask Darlington, why is it that anybody that is not supporting Labour Party or Obi is corrupt? Is it not the same Okupe that Darlington was praising during the campaign? All Nigerian politicians are corrupt, including we, the citizens.
Okay, so let me quickly take this call, and we're getting back to that. We'll get back to Dr. Mo too. Hello, good evening to you. Yes, good evening, welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, last year I got last.
You were lovely. Thank you.
I'm glad I got you.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
There's something that I want to ask Darlington.
Okay, go ahead.
Who is speaking?
I got a good evening.
Go ahead.
Okay, my brother, well done.
Can you ask your questions in English language, please? Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I want to ask about Darlington. How is the barrier? Leonard one. Please, can't you use your office to sue Peter? With all the with all the evidences that is around now.
The moment I do that, they ask me whether I have locals. I'm not from Rivers. What is my own with Rivers people? There are people that will do that.
I believe any lawyer in anywhere can sue anybody from any.
For what? They will ask you locals. Do you have local standard? That is the first thing they will ask you. Of what interest is what is going in Rivers?
Okay.
Didn't you hear what they told when you want to challenge any party nominee? They will tell you that you don't have any right to interfere in party affair. Case closed.
Okay, so let thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get back to you, Dr. Moore. With all the still little rift that we are experiencing in the Labour Party, do you see the party making it to the 2027 election as one body? And do you see Peter Obi contesting under the Labour Party in 2027 if he still wants to contest for the presidency? I mean, with the entire Arabambi, Lamidia Papa faction, and those little issues in the party, internal issues in the party.
And again, it's very interesting what's going on in Nigeria. What is most precious about this season that we're coming up from is the fact that much more than political party, a movement is born in Nigeria. This is the beauty of this, because movements are ideologically based. Any party, for whatever it is, whether you speak about Democrats and Republicans, they're all about...
They're parties of ideologies, right? But sorry for taking that off your mouth, but anyway.
They're parties of ideology, but that's not the context I'm saying.
Okay.
Parties are parties, wherever they are, all over the world. Parties are about election cycles. It's about taking over power, distributing wealth, and governance. That's what parties are about. Movements are about ideology. It's about the birthing of a new generation, a birthing of a new nation, a birthing of a new behavioral pattern, which is what the new Nigeria is really about. The new Nigeria is about a different kind of people, a different kind of behavior, a different kind of thinking, a different kind of everything completely. That's what we wish, that's what we pray for. So even if you have 1 million parties are just what they are. They are a vehicle to what? To taking power. So whether it is Labour Party or it is APC, PDP, CPC, AD, whatever you call them, is still party. They are just vehicles. So yeah, of course, the Labour Party was there. It's been there for the last 20 years. This is not... Labour Party has always been there. So it's not really about the Labour Party. It's about the man, Peter Obi. The moment he shifted and moved to the Labour Party, in 8 months, wonders happened. Exactly. And like I said, even going by let's take the data for INEC. Just use the data, the stolen data that they gave. And I say that because I had a program here in Lagos, and I argue, and you can check my data out, because what people try to do is to divide us along religious, ethnic sentiments that are completely useless to us as a people. It is because Yoruba people voted for Peter Obi, that's why he won Lagos.
Yes.
This is,
right.
So when you have, and it's important for us to say it in a station like this, when few crooked people go about beating people in polling booths, how do you use those people to label an entire tribe? How can we these are the narrative we must change. Somebody won with a landslide because the inhabitants of the place voted for him. Yoruba people love Peter Obi too much, and now, because I'm speaking facts now, these are data. This is not sentiment.
You are right.
In that same vein, when we talk about the question you are asking, if INEC can declare that Peter Obi has 6 million plus, and the person that is the president,
one in 12 states,
and 1 in 12 states, including
Lagos
statutorily, the
Lagos and
Abuja, which is the only requirement given according to Nigeria's constitution to become president. Not Atiku, not Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is not my word. This is Nigeria's constitution.
No, they changed it though.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm staying with the constitution.
Because they wanted the anointed one to be
standing
president.
With the constitution gives me power. It gives me power. The reason why we continue to discuss NSAS is why young people, children carry Nigeria's flag. When you carry that, it defends you. That flag covers you. And so for life,
did it defend them?
The point I'm making, this is what gives me boldness to speak about it. Otherwise, it will be a taboo. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so speaking about electoral practices and all of that, there is a national youth leader in Rivers State that had come out because of this whole weekend seems issues.
Perhaps I need to play that again for him again so that he will hear.
Labour Party in Rivers State, the Labour Party won the governorship election. That they wrote results themselves for PDP. Now, how does that make you?
Can I play that again? Let me quickly play the audio.
You don't need to play. Let me tell you. I am not just a member of the Obidati Campaign Council. I am the official MC for the campaign. I introduced Peter Obi in 20 states in the country. So I have the data in my bare hands. We did not only, we won Lagos, we won Abuja. People were shot in Rivers State. People were burnt in Kano. People were pulled out of polling booths here in Lagos. I mean, it's on record, it's on data. If you are not voting for this political party, get out of this place. And I can tell you categorically that by the 2019 data, only about 84 million registered voters that we have based on INEC data. About 10 million new voting data was added to that. And I can tell you that out of that 10 million, 99.9% were added because of the advent of Peter Obi.
Because of the movement.
Yeah. So let's even assume that none of the old people voted. There is a 10 million voting that was not accounted for.
But let's get something clear. This election has the least number of voters. Compared with the results that we saw, compared to at least 2017 election of thereabouts, which was about the highest number of votes so far.
So that tells you exactly.
The year Adwa 2007, the year Adwa Buhari's election.
That is why this is so sweet a conversation, because it tells you the robbery, the corruption.
But this last election also, let's not forget that people picked more interest in politics and governance. A lot of young people were so enthusiastic about what's going on in their country, who haven't seen that kind of thing before in Nigeria. I think that was what majorly formed the Obi movement, the Peter Obi movement.
So look at Nigeria. How can you look at Nigeria and say only 6 million people voted for?
Out of over 200 million people.
No, out of it's out of nearly 100 million, because the registered vote, the people that can vote, are about 100 million.
But
I'm saying, what I'm telling you is that 10 million was added to the 2019
registered voters.
Absolutely.
How do you do? Are we even having this conversation? Are we truly in our lifetime? Are we truly having this That's how bad INEC has become. That Professor Yakubu Mahmood is still perambulating and is not in prison, rotting somewhere.
So with the way things turned out during the last election and the way you're saying it now, do you not think the same thing will happen again?
In 2027, if nothing, drastic.
There are three things that makes for presidency. We were here when then Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu video was circulating around Nigeria. Snatch it, grab it, run with it. It is not my word, it is something that is there.
Yeah, he said it.
And in election day we saw what? Grabbing, running. Because voting is one, you vote. You also defend your vote and you negotiate power. I think what had happened with the obedient movement was that they only went to vote. And I said it, I just came from Ghana, where we had the what we call the conversation on the New Africa Foundation just a few hours ago. And I indicted Mr. Peter Obi that the peace that Nigeria is enjoying today, he's responsible for it. Because while young people were outside in Abuja trying to agitate and fight for their mandate, Mr. Peter Obi was telling them to calm down.
So I wanted to ask, is there peradventure something like that happens? Is there a new strategy? Is there a different strategy?
This is why I am telling you that Now, in 2027, I feel sorry for APC, PDP.
But Dr. Mo, the same thing happened in just the off-season elections that just took place in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states. We saw same thing. I mean, not far from what happened in 2023. Election happened. I don't know if I'm correct, Mr. Darlington.
You are very correct.
So, if same thing has happened twice in 1 year cycle, you know, what is the possibility that there would be a change or an improvement? That you would learn your lesson politically?
Oh no, social change is something that takes a long time. It's just that most of the time we want to see this change happen in our lifetime. I spoke to you about coming from America, going through the civil rights movement. I mean, slaves who were taken from which our parents and our forebears sold, our brothers and sisters, they fought for what? Slaves, so they fought for 400 years.
Yes.
Many were killed, including Martin Luther King. Today, a black man has been president in America. Today, the black diasporans are the best of black people in the whole world.
So it's the perseverance that matters.
Perseverance. It's going to take a long time. It took 82 years before apartheid was crushed. Nigeria is still very young. That we will see. We will see. There is no matter.
All right. So, in your opinion, you think a great statement was made in 2023 election?
In fact, Nigeria changed in 2023.
Okay. So, the way forward now, what do you think the way forward would be for the Labour Party? Continuous consciousness?
And this is important to also say this because a lot of people don't know.
Because a lot of people are discouraged. The reason I asked that question.
That's why they need to be encouraged, right? I mean, beautiful. But it's also important to say this for people to understand that the Labour Party is not the obedient movement. The Labour Party is a vehicle that the obedient movement used in 2023.
So that means Okupe was right when he said that you use them. I mean, him and Peter Obi used Labour Party as an SPV.
Oh, absolutely. It's a special purpose vehicle.
Oh, wow.
It's warehouse because there are people.
So there is a possibility that Peter Obi may not contest under Labour Party in 2027. Is that what you're saying?
When did he move to the Labour Party? I think, knowing the person that I know, he will still use the vehicle of the Labour Party. And the reason I'm saying is that even if you create if we move to another party today, because Nigerians parties are not built on ideology, they are all just they are vehicle. You move from one where you go still enter another one. So if the tire is no good, what we are doing right now is to ensure that we fix the bad tire, remove all the seats where no good, repair them and put it back. And that is what is going to happen with the Labour Party. So whichever party he moves to, he's still going to face that. So, but I know that a lot of mechanic work has already started in the Labour Party. So I think that, and I would want us to also use that, because you see, I spoke about space and time. What has been achieved in the last 12 months, let's extend it further, and it will be a bright future. Definitely.
And in the way forward, you said again, I'd like to be specific. I'd like you to be more specific about what you see as a way forward for, the obedient movement.
The Nigerian people, the obedient movement, the new Nigeria movement. I need you to know that you actually won the election. Whether or not you are sitting in Aso Villa, it doesn't even matter. That
even though the INEC result says otherwise.
In fact, let me even tell you, the fact that the INEC can even say that Peter Obi has 6 million is enough. Do you know what it means for somebody to run? Nigeria, we forget, Buhari had 2 million in 2011. You are looking at the next president. Data is what runs our life. The fact that this man ran for the first time and has it's a game changer. We have no need to worry at all. Exactly. This is the power of data.
Exactly.
If the day Sowore will have 1 million people vote for him, people would be afraid of Sowore. Exactly. People will put down money. Exactly. As he sits right now, we know the future president of Nigeria. The fact that he ran for the very first time and a corrupt INEC can declare that he has 6 million, we don't have any problem.
You are accusing INEC.
I am not only. I am indicting INEC. I am ready to go to on my integrity. I am ready to take Mahmoud INEC to anywhere. I protested for 23 days. I've been to the DSS, and I'm saying it here on my honor and on my life.
So speaking about,
do you think Obi can team up with anybody in 2027?
Teaming up, negotiating, all forms of things are part of what?
But the Labour Party itself has distanced itself from any coalition.
Let me ask, what if somehow, if PDP raises a peace flag and extends to Obi and wants him back to the party, are you seeing Obi going back to the PDP?
Because right now he's the biggest boy in the block.
Oh wow!
When you are coming, it's like football game. It's like
everyone wants.
It's like a musician. I mean, who is the biggest guy now in Nigeria? You want to collaborate with the biggest person? It will be on his terms now. This is just common sense.
Yes.
I mean, if you are the most beautiful girl in Nigeria, somebody wants to. It is on your terms.
Dr. Mo, we cannot exhaust this conversation here, so I think would rather head to our television station to complete this conversation. There is so much more to be said. Absolutely. So people go live right now to VOP TV live. We should be there on YouTube very shortly to get more of this conversation with Dr. Moses Paul. He's an author, The Nigerian Dream, thought leader, social activist, a member of Betta Campaign Council, and I must say, a very smooth talker. You can see the way he's been able to, marry us through his belief, even though I don't want to say about my thoughts and reactions on it. Dr. Moses, I appreciate you a lot for being here. Thank you so much. Mr. Darlington, before I call you Doctor, Barrister Darlington, thank you so much for being my Monday, Thursday tonic.
No problem.
All right. So Lagos, this show returns your way again tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m. God willing. My name is Precious Inyi, produced by Promise, and she's here with us. Join us on all our social media handles. Do not forget to go straight to VOP TV. Stream us. We are now live, streaming live every day, Monday to Friday, 247. You can catch us. Go watch all our cutout shows there, and you see the live conversation we had today with Peter Obi is there on VOP TV. You should go see it there on VOP TV on YouTube. You should go see it there. Thank you so much.